All right, I'm going to do 15-minute, 10-second increment. Here we go. I'm just going to expect to lose this time and be surprised, pleasantly surprised if I don't. Because, yeah, my like average accuracy lately has been like 60%, which is really not great. Yeah, I'm not going to address that. I'm not going to worry about that. That cannot be a good move. Well, it's not a terrible move. I guess maybe because they prepared it, but clearly they're just going for this, which I don't like when people play like this. I bet money right now that one of these moves is an inaccuracy. So I can push right away, and then I'm expecting, let's count this. So here, here, here. If it takes, we'll grab with the queen. Otherwise, the rook's pinned, so we're just gonna challenge that right away. It's hard because sometimes the computer suggests that, and sometimes it's not the best move. But I generally like to just challenge it right away, because oftentimes you actually end up winning a pawn this way when they do this prematurely. So yeah, I mean, like, this may or may not be the right move here, but okay. Takes. I almost wish I could like distract the queens so that I would be able to snag that knight for free when he takes back. We do generally want to take with the a-pawn first. Not this way, otherwise we'll just take back. So let's go ahead and grab. Yeah, nothing too crazy to think about here. Not yet, at least. I spot a tactic potentially. Takes. Check. No, that doesn't work. They can block. So what if we... Let's jump the knight in, right? This is hard, actually. Oh, no, hold on. No, yeah, because bishop takes, queen takes. Now the queen's defending that bishop, but this right away kind of caught my eye that bishop's undefended. Check. If he goes to the bishop, do we have anything? No, not really. But if we start with the knight, with knight e5, and then throw in the check, maybe something comes out of that, but I don't think so. We need this bishop. So actually, ooh. Maybe e4 eventually is going to be the move. Although, the bishop's a pretty bad bishop, let's be honest. My bishop isn't great either, but just kind of come up with a plan here. Obviously, we can just develop, but I feel like this is juicy. Check if the bishop blocks. Like maybe we start infiltrating here. Got this bishop. Okay, so do I want to throw in the check first, or do I want to run knight e5 first? 95 I feel like is just kind of too slow. Check. Bishop here. Check here with Queen Queen D7. Unfortunately, we still would have to take the queen, because if we grab the knight, I was trying to calculate this, like check here, but then if we grab first, they can take back with the knight. Otherwise, they would lose that knight. All right, well, still, I feel like check here. Oops. Here, there, check. I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'm gonna start with 95. I really don't know between all those different moves. I don't know which one's best. I'm not thrilled about moving this knight twice in the opening, but I do want to take advantage of that vulnerable king, and all of these weak like pieces over here. But I feel like Queen A4 is just a little bit premature. This knight is going to lend some help on those light squares. I could definitely be wrong, but because I also could have just like, you know, developed a little bit castle, but you can't get away with that at this rating. You know, like you need to be able to spot your opponent's weaknesses, come up with plans. You can't just like follow a recipe every single time. So all right, now this knight is defending some of those squares. So if I hit him with check, let's do it now and see what happens. The problem is, okay, so yeah, here I was thinking of doing this though, because now if we grab, he can't take back with a knight, and then if we take, he's forced to take with the queen, and then we grab the bishop. So let's threaten that. Yeah, let's threaten that. Here, takes. Again, like I'm not really following, you know, a lot of common principles, like don't move the same pieces twice in the opening. This could be the right way to go. This could not. All I know is that this weak king, like I want to take advantage of that king. I don't want to let him get castled. If I just like develop and get castled, all I'm doing is giving my opponent time to develop, get castled, and then maybe this like connect 4 pawn structure ends up being a little bit more annoying than I would like it to. Right now, he's got a really bad bishop. He blocked in his own bishop. His bishop is very weak because his queen is the only thing defending that thing. So that's just my thought process, but we'll see. I'm expecting the analysis to be similar to yesterday's, which is to say like total shit. But we're staying zen. We're going all Ted Lasso here. We're not going to get frustrated even if our chess is terrible. Things come around. Even if bishop e7 will still take. Because if queen takes, we grab the bishop. If bishop takes, so bishop e7 takes. Yeah. I can't tell for sure, but I think that my opponent might be losing a piece here. Wow. Unless they do something like that, which is crazy. What a move. Check. Man, it's too bad we can't like get this fork in. I can't even sack or anything because it takes the queen. Takes. Now what I'm thinking, that's a good move. Now what I'm thinking is that I need more pieces eventually to join the fight here. Check, takes, like, I don't really know about that. I think that he's going to be able to just offer a queen trade. This knight is going to be kind of hard to get into the game. It's going to be a little bit slow. So what's the best move here? What is the best move here? Takes. Taking back here, I assume. Then check back here. God, I wish this pawn was not here. I wish I could just free access with that bishop. All right, let's see. Wait, what? Takes. Okay, so takes. He's taking with the king. No, what? No, this doesn't. What am I? Am I hallucinating? This still is just wins a piece. I'm pretty sure. He has to take with the queen, and then yeah, and that's a free bishop. He can't take back with that knight. Like it'd be pinned. It'd be a great skewer, but he can't legally even do that. Can't take with the queen. The king. It's protected, so he has to take with the queen if he wants that, and then we pick up the bishop. So, and then we'll probably just try to trade queens. Right. So let's go here. I would like to know that there's no checks. This is pretty nice because like this bishop can't even get out. It would kind of suck to have that like boom, the bishop can develop and hit my queen. There's something to be said for that like activity, but what's nice is that the bishop can't even get out yet. Yep, now I'm totally down to trade pieces though. Not going to think twice about that. And now I might just look to get castled soon here. So for the moment, there's no checks, right? He's not going to be winning my queen. And in fact, that bishop is pinned. So until he moves the rook, like if he moves the bishop, I'll just grab the rook. All right. I think this is actually going to be the move here. I want to here. I really hope I'm not blundering anything, but this just seems better. My queen does not. I mean, these light squares are absolutely awful. There's nothing going on with these light squares. I need to be on the dark squares. Before his bishop gains all the control over the dark squares, I at least want to like give the... I want to bring my queen closer to the king. Hang on a sec. Oh man, I wish that I could. No, that still wouldn't be made. So because of check, move here. It does check. Go back. That's the problem with that. So yeah, maybe this was a mistake. I don't think this was, I think this was a mistake actually. I just lost myself a tempo is what I just did. It's not the end of the world, but how can we make this up here? If he goes back, we're kind of screwed there. We can't even... Well, no, okay, so he has to go scoot over. If we check, he's going back, right? So... I'm gonna do it anyways, because he has to go back this way. Unfortunately, check if he goes... No, it's not worth the sack. So let's just go all the way back. All the way back. Get castled so we can get the knight over here. Ooh, that knight needs to join the party. I need to get castled. I need to get my knight into the game. Eventually, I will want to be careful of this weakness, because if he takes away, you know, if he takes that c3 pawn, he might look to create counterplay by... Okay, maybe I'll just go for the throat here then. Here. You know what? I'm just going to go for it. Black's best counterplay right now is to keep shielding his king, so I'm just going to blow these pawns open. I don't know if I'm doing that the right way, but I'm just going to frickin' launch these things. I'm going to just blow this whole thing up, because at the end of the day, he has his king out in the middle, so... Right, so he's going to go for that. Do I care? Well, I could just castle while I'm able to. Let's do that. And then I might actually just not touch this knight. The rook is defending the knight, the knight's defending that pawn. The bishop is not really in danger. I mean, there's nothing he can do with that pawn right now. In the meantime, I'm just going to like crash through and attack his king. But that is not to say that I'm doing this in the best fashion. Takes. I almost am thinking of throwing an h4 just to really make sure I'm breaking through there. I thought about queen h3. Ooh, I could sack if I wanted to. Maybe that's a move here. Yeah, he's gonna hit me with this afterwards. So, do I want to? This bishop is so bad that I feel like... Yep, let's have some fun. 2 pawns for a bishop, and his king is totally out in the open, and his queen is offside. I'm hoping that something comes out of this. I'm expecting king f7. Okay, so that's 3 pawns. We should be okay here. Just gotta make sure I'm not blundering anything, but now all of these pawns can fall. But I want to go for checkmate. Or just launch this pawn down the board. I kind of feel like, yeah, I don't really want to touch this touch this knight. I'll just leave the rook protecting the knight, because the knight is doing a fantastic job. If those pawns fall, that's bad news bears. So maybe I'll just launch this pawn because it's not weakening any of my... Like, my pieces don't have to do anything to do that. You know, if I start giving him checks, I just don't really see the point. Or I can start picking up the pawns. Picking up these pawns, but... I think I'd rather go for something more aggressive. Because I'm up 3 points of material. But those are pawns, and... Alright. So yeah, I think I'm going to go for this now. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a passed pawn. If he wants to trade queens, I will gladly do so. And trust in my endgame abilities. That's, not a free rook. Check. Queen's defending that, so check. Goes here to bishop. Check here. Let's see. Rook f6. If he takes that, I mean, that's no, that can't. That's mate. So rook f6. This would be mate 2. Sorry, did I say rook f6? What am I don't even know. F6. So tired. F6. I don't think that they can stop this without losing a bishop. I'm expecting bishop f8, and then do we go f7? Don't tell me this is like they're somehow hanging on here. No. Here, and we're threatening mate. Jeez. Jeez Louise. They can't even do anything about that, actually. It's mate. It's mate 1. GG. Wow. Well, to my surprise, we got a win there. Just struggling. And I'm at 1699. 91.7% accuracy. So look at that. 0 blunders, 0 misses, 0 mistakes, 2 inaccuracies. My opponent had 1 blunder, 0 misses, 0 mistakes, 4 inaccuracies. It was a pretty like dynamic game too. So it's not like it was just a boring game where like you get really high accuracy, because it's just like, of course, like what else would you? This got really interesting really fast because my opponent went for this really quick like queenside pawn expansion. I was curious though, because all right, so it says a6 is good, c5 is good. C5 always seems to be a pretty good move. C4 is excellent. Okay. All right. Well, computer actually likes the approach that my opponent took, but I think that this ended up being my entire plan ended up being based on this queenside pawn expansion, and it ended up winning me a pawn. So it's not like I did it perfectly, but okay. King e7 is a blunder, yeah. So because it loses a piece. Apparently, black is actually winning, believe it or not. The move here is, wow, yeah, very quiet. Bishop b7. Takes, like we're not threatening anything here. Interesting. Okay. But I made my opponent think, which is good, and they ultimately ended up blundering. Okay, queen b8, castles was best there. Yeah, I was deciding between queen e5 or queen g3, because like, you know, here they're just gonna move and then my queen's under attack. But okay, f4 is an inaccuracy. Should have just castled. Castling. Okay. Ooh, bishop sack. Bishop takes g4 is best. Everything from here is pretty standard, I feel like. I'm either gobbling up these pawns, but actually I feel like you could get kind of greedy and throw the game away if you are too focused on just eating pawns. Like I already have 3 points up in advantage. There's a pass pawn. Just push that fucking thing. Push it. It just ends the game much quicker, you know. All right, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna take that and say thank you. Call it on that note. I need sleep. And then we'll see what I can do this weekend.